and welcome to another episode of CRT Sound System. I think we've got episode 80. I forgot to
Wow.
check the number before we started, actually. No, 81. Last episode was 80, so we're on 81 now. And we're talking about some golf games. Here with Reese, as always. Reese, how are you?
I'm incredible, Tom. Thank you. I've overcome my sickness. I've overcome my distracting obligations that forbid me from podcasting, and I'm ready to go ape shit about golf. Perhaps the first person to ever go ape shit about golf, but I'm ready.
I think there's a few players who've gone apeshit about golf in the past, I'm sure.
I don't believe it.
And we've got a guest. I'm not sure if you're a golf expert, but you're certainly a golf game expert, as far as I'm concerned. Is Tom from Shujin Academy VGM Club? Tom, how are you?
I'm great. Hello, everyone.
Hi,
I
Tom. Thank you so much for popping in and golf moding with us. I'm really excited about this one because while I hate golf, I love golf music for video game systems.
I have similar feelings. Like, I don't hate golf. I've never actually gone out and played real life golf. I like mini golf, but I really do like golf game music.
Yeah, golf game music is absolutely one of those sort of subgenres that I feel like once you sort of started branching out from, like, if you're like really getting into video game music and you start branching out from the standard RPGs and action games, one of these holes you start finding yourself going down is like obscure sports games, bass fishing games, F1 games, things like that, to find soundtracks.
Horse racing games.
Horse racing games, that's another, yeah.
Yeah, I have similar feelings about horse racing and tennis and golf and bass fishing games. Like all four of those genres. Like those are not things I enjoy in real life, but man, those games have really good music.
Yeah.
Really, the four food groups of sports gaming.
Yeah, no, for sure. So yeah, Tom, you've done a couple of episodes, and in fact, your very first episode of the show was on golf. So, like, why golf in particular is something that you sort of seem to be really locked in on, as far as music goes.
That is a great question, Tom. I'm glad you asked. And that's what I say when I don't actually have an answer to a question, because I don't have an answer to this one. I just like golf game music. It probably came from listening to other VGM podcasts and also from playing Neo Turf Masters. I like the Neo Turf Masters. That's a game that I got into kind of through my time in the fighting game community, because I used to play a lot
Yeah,
of
it's one
fighting
of those
games.
weird side games that often shows up. That and Windjammers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
fighting.
Windjammers is also amazing.
Yeah. But yeah, golf is sort of interesting. Like, I'm not a golfer. I've never played golf much. I've played it a little bit. My brother plays golf. My father played golf. My uncles all played golf. My grandfather, grandmother played golf. Like, golf, we were a golfing family, apparently. And it's just never been my sport. I think golf is, like, as a game, is fine. Is interesting enough, but, like, ecologically is a fucking disaster, and people who play golf generally are assholes. So I don't have a lot of time for the sport for that reason, I find. But that's why I think video games are the perfect expression of golf. Because, like, just as far as, like, simulation goes, they've got that figured out since the fucking 90s. Like, even with the most basic of video games, have been able to simulate golf for the longest time. And I think that sort of, it makes it a very pure form of video game in an interesting way, I find. Because it sort of, it then gives you a lot of space to move around. Like, you've got a lot of these games that sort of get a bit weird with it, or you have games like Kirby's Dream Course and stuff like that are sort of golf adjacent, or use golf mechanics, but have different, have a very different aesthetic to them.
One of the great things about video games is that it lets you explore stuff that is prohibitive to do in real life. Like, I can't go to Pebble Beach and play 18 holes because it's expensive and a long way away from where I live. And also, I don't know how to play golf in real life, but I can load up, Pebble Beach golf links in 38 different flavors and play it on some sort of platform and experience it kind of that way. Which is also better than like some of the things you did point out. Like, it is crazy that there are golf courses in Las Vegas in the middle of the desert eating a lot of water for people to play golf. Like, I mean, that
Ecologically destructive. I think I would get very bored. I think the wonderful thing about video game golf is that you can stop playing at any time. If you're at Pebble Beach and you paid all that money, you got to do the whole 18 times.
yeah.
It sounds like fucking torture. And I think the actual mechanics, have merit to them. I would much rather play just about any golf game than Valorant. So, I guess the core game structure is not something I have a problem with. It's just everybody I know who is a golf head is annoying as fuck. And all the other things, and you're just like, you're hot, it's hot out under the sun. I'm against that. I'm an indoor girl, and militantly so.
Completely fair. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
So these games, you mentioned you haven't really played many of them except for Neo Turf Masters. Now, I know you've mentioned a couple of names of composers who are sort of among the best in the genre. So, like the first block, we've got a few from Yumi Kinoshita slash
Yes.
Misatake, who you mentioned sort of when we first started discussing this episode as being like one of the goats.
Oh, absolutely. God, yes. Yumi Kinoshita. Kinoshita was her maiden name, and then she got married, and now she's Yumi Satake, and she's it. She's the empress of golf game soundtracks. Like, it's her. She worked at T&E Soft for a long, long time and did golf game after golf game after golf game, usually with one or two other composers, and like, I honestly am not sure golf game music would be like a subgenre that people in VGM love without her. I think she's that important. I think she's like the Nobuo Uematsu of golf games.
The high praise. I'm excited.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, no, fair enough. Yeah, yeah, because like that was a name that came up a lot just when I was going through all the golf games in my video game rips folder when I was coming through these ones. So yeah,
Yeah, it's
once you
because T and
mentioned
Esoft did like nothing but golf games forever. Like, that was like their bread and butter. They were like half golf games and then like a quarter RPGs and a quarter other stuff.
yeah,
I think
there's an interesting
that's the T and
crossover
Esoft output.
between golf and RPGs as well. Like one of the later blocks is going to have stuff from Motoi Sakuraba, and like he's mostly known for like RPGs, but also does like a bunch of golf soundtracks. Because Camelot, who themselves are mostly known for RPGs, also just make a bunch of golf games. So that's an interesting little. Yeah, and there is that game, the Golf RPG. I wonder if there's more to the connection between golf and RPGs than I've thought
I don't know.
previously.
I do remember Golf Story, which I've played a little bit, but not a ton. And there's also a golf RPG in UFO 50 that I haven't played much. I need to just sit down and spend like a year playing UFO 50.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think there's something to the connection between RPGs and golf. You're always switching out your main weapon. You're always wishing you had more fast travel than is available. Rosa dies. There's a lot similar.
Things are situational. You also
Hmm.
have to go through a 3-minute summon in order to get on the green and get the ball in the hole.
Exactly. This is a great bit. We should do a tight five about you. Golf might be an RPG if type bits.
well, there's a lot of crossover between sports and RPGs at times. Like I feel like stuff like baseball is
Oh,
just
oh yeah,
basically
yeah,
an
yeah.
RPG. But the speaking of Camelot, didn't they do one of the Mario golf games that was basically just an RPG as well? I seem to recall.
I feel like they did, yeah. I haven't. The only Mario Golf game I've played is Super Rush, which I do enjoy, but I haven't like researched the whole history of the Mario Golf franchise. Sub franchise, sub franchise, however you word that, because it's like a sub franchise of Mario Sports, which is a sub franchise of Mario.
Indeed. All right, so we'll jump into the first block of tracks in that case. So I have 4 here from Yumi Kinoshita. One is just composed on her own on Pebble Beach golf links for the Super Nintendo. It's called Main Menu. And then I have 2 tracks from Pebble Beach golf links for the Genesis. The Shigekazu Kamaki and Yusaburo Shimojyo are composed alongside her, and then the last track from those games is Whole Overview, we have BGM2 and Whole Overview from Pebble Beach Golf Links on the Genesis, and then another track called Whole Overview from Devil's Course, which is composed by the same 3 people again, plus Shunsuke Minomiya and Akira Tamada. So there's a lot of people working on these golf games for the soundtracks.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
Personally, I love A Whole Overview, so I'm excited.
Whole Overview is an incredible name for a song in any context. So then we have 2 tracks from Ganbare Golf Boys on the TurboGrafx 16 by Atsuhiro Motoyama. And they're called Passing Illusion and Through the Green. And then from Golf for the Virtual Boy, we have Main Menu, and that's composed by either Ken Kojima or Hideo Sugiyama. I couldn't confirm which one it was for definite. One thing I'll probably note about that as well is the Virtual Boy is sort of secretly one of the best sounding systems out there. Every time I hear a Virtual Boy soundtrack, I'm like, this system was completely underlooked or overlooked, I should say.
There are
But
so many Virtual Boy game soundtracks too, like all 27 of them.
yeah, and most of them are pretty good.
You're in luck, Tom. We'll be getting more.
So, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, that is the most gonzo thing I think Nintendo has done in the past like 5 years. Like, oh hey, we're just gonna have the Virtual Boy. You can play it on your Switch now.
Yeah,
Here's a
physical media, no. Virtual Boy, yes.
yeah. Here's a cardboard face mask for the Virtual Boy. We won't give you games on cartridges, but Virtual Boy. So they're throwing us a bone or something.
I think the fact that there isn't a golfing dating sim is there's a hole in the market there.
There is, like, that should be a thing. I'm gonna when I retire from my boring IT job doing business IT stuff and I become a game developer, I'm gonna make my own golf dating sim.
Golf dating RPG.
Yeah, I bet there actually is a golf dating RPG somewhere, but
I've
it's
done a quick Google for golf dating sim, and I'm just getting websites for dating golfers. So,
Oh my God.
meet amazing single golfers.
that seems an odd choice of dating,
Yeah,
like, way to search your dating pool. It's hard for me to know because
I mean, I get it. It's you got so much shit you got to do to get to the golf course. Requires so much time and effort. It'd be so much easier if your partner was just into it too, so you didn't have to like face the disappointment on her face as you left for the
First
links
6
every
hours.
Saturday instead of taking her out.
that is absolutely true. I mean, I have hobbies that don't involve my wife, and she likes to do things that don't involve me. But once in a while, it would be nice if she wanted to, do things with me.
It's nice to have things
Yeah.
to do together.
100%. Well, I feel like golfing has to be on the more expensive, more time commitment end on the spectrum. Along with Warhammer. So it takes there's all kinds. But
Takes all kinds. Yeah.
Nothing says romance like Warhammer.
I mean, in the trans community.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, I wanted to jump back actually just to to Devil's Course. A great track. We all enjoyed having the whole overview for that one. And
Such a beautiful hole.
Yeah.
Just 2 beautiful holes. I loved overviewing them.
Indeed.
Tom, I'm glad you said it so I didn't have to. But
Oh my goodness.
I think deep down we're all 12 years old.
yeah.
Look, if I can't have a whole joke in a golfing podcast, I think I just have to pack it in.
Exactly.
Maybe we need to make some stroke jokes too. Like,
Yeah, I need.
No, that's coming up. That's what this bit's
Yeah.
for.
That's going to be the thumbnail. Is something about stroking, for sure. But yeah, we talked a little bit about Devil's Course specifically, just as like an idealistic way to have a golf game, because like you have your baseline of like, here's a golf simulation, like here's St. Andrews, here's Pebble Links, here's
Augusta National for the Masters.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Yeah, whatever you want to do. Or else you could like do golfing in a volcano or on a bunch of floating islands or in a fantasy forest or something like. Like just taking the concept of golf and just moving that out into the fantasy or sci-fi realm is quite interesting. And that was a thing that they did a lot in the 90s with general sports. Like there was stuff like Devil's Crush, the
Crazy
the
pinball game.
like like where, it's like being like, okay, so we have a baseline here of this is the simulation of something, and now we're just going to take it and go absolutely crazy with it. And
Yeah, like there's
I feel like
Baseball
that's something
Simulator
we've lost.
1000 for the NES that's
Yeah.
like baseball with superpowers, and Super Baseball 2020 that's
Yeah.
like baseball with robots and power armor, and Base
The
Wars that's robot
that
baseball.
one, the robots baseball, I remember playing that as a kid and being the first up to pitch, destroying the entire team by beating them with pitchers, and the game being like game over, and me being like I won, victory, and just like turning the game off and never playing it
Amazing.
again.
That's pretty funny. One of the golf games you mentioned on your most recent, so your most recent episode of your podcast was about golf as well, just to be clear.
Yeah, it just came out like 2 days ago.
Yeah, it's like
After
2 days
when we're
ago.
recording this.
This one is coming out tomorrow, so it'd be like, yeah, not that many days since. But
Oh,
one of the
yeah.
ones you mentioned was like one of the golf games is about like a robot who had to prove he was being
Oh yeah, Mecha Robot
human.
Golf.
Mecha
Yeah,
Robot
yeah.
Golf. Yeah, I really was curious about that one. I want to learn more about that game. I don't think that I have any in this one, but yeah, it sounded really funny.
Yeah, in Japan, it's just like a regular ass golf game with some like Japanese golfer, like Noriko something or other, who's just like a normal golf guy on the Japanese PGA Tour, whatever that is. It's
Yeah,
not the PGA Tour, but anyway, like
whatever
it's
the
just some
equivalent is.
normal ass golf game. And then like when they were bringing it to the United States and like North America, they were like, let's put a robot in there because robots play golf.
Yes,
Yeah, it's like
they were right
when they
too.
brought Contra to Europe, they just made them robots because they didn't want people being shot in video games at the time for some reason. But just that
It's
video
the
game.
same way with Mecha Robot Golf. Like in the United States in the 90s, there were rules against human beings
Mm.
playing golf.
Oh my goodness, yeah. The we talked a bit as well about the possibility of also doing a golf dating sim, and yeah, I think we need to get on that. Whatever about golf RPGs, golf dating sims are the future.
Yeah,
Golf visual novel.
I love the gag that Ganbare Golf Boys is a dating sim in addition to being a golf game, and I wish I like really kind of do wish there was a combination golf game dating sim. Like I don't know that I've ever played a pure dating sim and really gotten into it, but I've occasionally played games with dating sim elements and really enjoyed them because like
Yeah,
it was like the dating sim is like it's like chocolate syrup on your ice cream. Like I don't want to eat chocolate syrup by itself, but chocolate syrup on ice cream is delicious. And so like I
yeah,
wish there were more games with dating sim elements. Like, you know, Honey Pop like by itself, like I don't think I would want to just play the dating sim parts of that game, but like having the match 3 in there actually makes it a lot of fun.
yeah.
Absolutely, I think we all agree about Honey Pop.
Well, I think that was something we were saying as well during the visual novel episode where we were talking about Cartagra, and where like I like the visual novels that have a mechanic. I like to be able to just have a little bit of a whether it's just clicking on a picture to find to find evidence or whatever, or if it's like doing a match 3 or whatever, just something to break up
Yeah.
dialogue.
Yeah,
Well,
adding
I mean,
something to your VN is great. Like pure
Mm,
VN's problematic or hard to play.
mm.
Go on,
I
Reese.
think we've it's been well established that adding a smooching element to whatever your game is
Mm.
really invests people into it. You know, that's what else is BioWare but a game sim publisher or dating sim publisher where you also fly around in the N7 and do space
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, that's what
It's
Baldur's Gate
great to
3 is.
yeah, it's great to smooch, it's great to fight, it's great to play video games. I think there should not only be golf dating sims, but every game out there
every
should
genre.
have a dating sim element
That should be a thing
because
in
it's very
Madden. That should be a Madden thing. Like, you know, you're the quarterback and you've got a huge crush on like the opposing team's wide receiver or like some defender or something, and he like intercepts the pass that you threw, and like you're so unhappy, but you're so proud of him for his, you know, interception prowess. And
You've just changed the flow of time by coming up with Madden Yowie. So congratulations.
I think sports games in general could do with more like, yeah, you've got your tsunderes and your sweetie pies and your girl boss gatekeepers and all that. You need to have that in the sports games, yeah.
Yeah, that's why
100%.
that's why I don't play Madden or NFL or NBA 2K or even like WWE 2K, which is, you know, an actual sport that I like. Like, it's because there's no dating sim elements. Like,
I would absolutely purchase MLB The Show if the players smooched.
yeah, let me make
it's
Cody
just true.
Rhodes bang Seth Rollins. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Okay, now we're getting to the realm of truth. Those are great tracks. I'm just in hog heaven, just sort of enjoying these as they go by, and there's something really special, I think, to something as broad as just like golf game with a variety of different vibes where you can kind of just do whatever, you just need to be engaged by the music. And that's what all of these tracks are. They're engaging. And you can listen to them on loop for quite some time. And so I'm excited to delve further into this. I want to see what the rest of the episode holds. Not that we're done talking. Just I had a good time.
I like that Virtual Boy golf game, and it's crazy. Like, I love that soundtrack, and it's crazy because if you watch a playthrough of it on YouTube, it's just this ocean of ugly red running at like 4 frames per second, and you're like, oh my god, how did anyone ever do anything? How did anyone ever enjoy any part of this game except the soundtrack?
Yeah,
it's easily the best part of the game.
Yeah, because it's like polygonal, or I guess like in the, I don't know if it's polygonal, but it's like, yeah, it's 3D, and it's
it's
like
very early
how you can make out
polygons on
details.
systems like the Pebble Beach games, and Devil's Course, the T&E Soft Genesis games are also polygon based, and they're on systems that can, render like 100 polygons at 5 frames a second. Like it just a comically low frame rate.
Yeah. I suppose like that you don't need, because you're not sort of, it's not Twitch based or anything like that. You might have to hit a bar at the right timing or something like that, but like these games running at 60 FPS isn't necessarily going to be
these are not fighting games. Like, you're not trying to do like a 2-frame link to get an extra 10 yards on your swing that becomes a Shoryuken or something.
Maybe we should. We're just combining genres all day today, so we might, why not throw some fighting games in there as well?
Yeah,
100%.
It's a golf RPG fighting game dating sim.
100%. And after every 3 holes, you get to choose between 3 different buffs. It's give it a bit of a roguelike element. I think that would be very important to it as well. Key, in fact. I see. I have to go to Northern Lions chat for support on that one. I see. I understand.
All right, so we're going to jump into the next block of tracks in any case. So we have 2 tracks from Neo Turf Masters, which we sort of mentioned earlier in conjunction with with Windjammers as being sort of something that shows up in fighting game communities a lot as a sort of a weird side game. Some of the best like anime style artwork of golfers you'll ever see in your life. Like, just some of the portraits and stuff in that game are absolutely just these gorgeous BMP anime style, but they're all just like the most muscular golfers you've ever seen in your life and shit.
It is a
And
great looking game. Like,
it's like those massive Neo Geo sprites. Like, just like that. That is just peak sprite work to me.
it's the best looking golf game on the Neo Geo, but there's only
I mean,
2 golf games on the Neo Geo. So,
yeah. So yeah, we've got 2 tracks from that, composed by Takushi Hiyamuta. There's Fujiyama Oriental Golf Club, Japan, and Grand Canyon Golf Course, USA. Then 4 tracks from Namco Open on the NES, I believe. I should have wrote
SNES.
that down. SNES, is it? Okay, yeah, I should have wrote that down. These are just credited to the TOSE sound team. So we have main menu, profiles, Namcot course, which I believe you had in your most recent episode as well, and tournament course.
Neo Turf Masters has such a cool soundtrack. And like of every game on this playlist, it is the one that I have actually played the living crap out of. I love Neo Turf Masters. I have it on my Switch and I have it on my PlayStation, and I would love to own like the MVS cart of it, but
Oh
it's
my
like
god,
$250 or something, just like
that's
very
pretty
expensive.
reasonable
Wow.
for a Neo Geo cartridge, in fairness.
No, oh.
No, it's not. No. Like that I the two MVS carts I actually do own cost me like 20-30 bucks.
Really?
They were
Wow.
really, yeah. They were yeah, I have King of Fighters 96 and King of Fighters 98, and I wish I had enough money to get Neo Turf Masters, because I was looking at it on eBay and how much does this cart cost? Oh my god, yeah, I can't
Ooh.
afford that.
I
But
was under the impression that MVS cartridges were just insanely expensive,
nope, not
and
all
that
of
like
them.
AES, it was the AES ones that were like
Yeah, the
reasonable.
AES ones are more expensive because they're super fucking rare.
Oh,
Sorry for
okay, so
cursing
maybe I
there.
had it mixed up there. No, curse away.
Yeah.
We love it.
Oh,
We love a cursing on this episode or in the show. Um,
yeah. Neo
yeah,
Turf Masters is crazy. Like every course is its own place, and like the Europe course has Neuschwanstein or whatever that German castle is, whose name I don't remember. And like the Japanese course, which is one of the songs we heard, has like Osaka Castle and Mount Fuji in the background, because those two things are right next to each other
yeah.
in Japan and not like 200 miles apart. And then the American course that we also heard has a hole that is the Grand Canyon and another hole that is Niagara Falls. And
Again, very close to each other
yeah,
geographically.
yeah. Not like 2,000 miles apart. Just like you can just
Yeah,
walk casually from Niagara Falls to the Grand Canyon, and oh, there's so it's so much. It's like almost like Devil's Course, that American course, in terms of how nuts it is, because
mm.
you're playing golf on the freaking Grand Canyon on Niagara Falls. Like you shoot over Niagara to the other side of that water, which I guess puts you in Canada. Or
Yeah,
starts you
that's
out in
true.
Canada.
Yeah, indeed. Um,
I
the
love that soundtrack too. Like the
It's a really good soundtrack. Yeah, like I mentioned during the break, I'm not the biggest Neo Geo fan as far as music goes, and that's mostly because a lot of the Fatal Fury soundtracks have a really ass sounding guitar synth. But like a lot of things, when it's used well, you get that nice smooth jazzy sound to it, and really nice bass synths. I think it comes across really much nicer.
yeah.
Um,
I like some of the King of Fighters soundtracks. Like there's some
Oh, I
great
like
King of
them
Fighters songs.
compositionally, but just the arrangements, just
Yeah.
with those
Fatal Fury's
synths.
soundtrack has some really rough stuff. Like there's
Mm.
some difficult things to listen to on there. It's like the really harsh parts of Streets of Rage 3. Like the
Mm. Yeah.
there can be it's a challenge. Like
Yeah. I like a lot of the later games that remix some of those tracks and sort of rearrange them and make them much more listenable, thankfully. Yeah, they do like to bring back themes and stuff like that, so it's always good. The what was the other game? The Namco Open. Again, we have to decry on on this show. Game companies not crediting their fucking composers. It
absolutely.
sucks. I really wish it wasn't a thing. Because like especially like the Namco course and or Namcot course and tournament course are just like all time bangers. Like it fucking sucks that nobody will know who fucking made those songs.
Yeah, whoever it is, like, no, we salute you, and
Yeah.
we don't see you, but we would like to see you.
We would indeed. I suppose speaking of people to salute, we're coming up to the next block of tracks, which we've got some tunes by Motoi Sakuraba. I feel like he is one of those people that can be so versatile, and like I love seeing him show up and in like random places, like and he like what is it? Like he can go from like this to or stuff like this, or like the Golden Sun soundtrack or the Tales soundtracks, and then turn around and make stuff like the Dark Souls soundtrack. Like again, one of the
Yeah.
best to ever do it. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's crazy how much like how he gets that range. Like, you know, it's like early in Nobuo Uematsu's career, he did a bunch of different stuff. Like he didn't just do Final Fantasy, he did World Runner and
Like an Aliens
Rad
game.
Racer and the Aliens game for the MSX. And then he was just all Final Fantasy after, you know, when that franchise took off. But Sakuraba, like, he got around. He was like, let's make a golf game. Let's make Dark Souls. Let's make, you know, Tales and Star Ocean and other stuff. So yeah.
Yeah,
A
absolutely.
lot of stuff with Camelot, like Camelot seems he used to be Camelot's guy for a lot of stuff, and he's even got his own band. Like he's got a pretty decent prog rock band. If you like his really prog rocky stuff that he does for like the Tales series and Star Ocean and stuff, I would definitely go check out his band. I forget what they're called, but yeah, like if you like that really prog rocky stuff that he does, for sure check that out. This is
I should
this
check
is a
that
lot
out.
less prog rocky.
I
But
mean, it's
yeah, like
golf. Golf and prog rock are not necessarily two genres that go together. Like
no,
there's a reason Rush never did a golf theme album.
maybe they should have. That would have been.
To quote Tom, uh, all video game music is prog rock.
I mean, that is true.
Not all of it. Some of it is jazz fusion.
Yeah. So the stuff that isn't prog rock is almost always jazz fusion. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So have you played any of the Hot Shots golf games?
I played a little bit of Hot Shots Golf. I played the
Yeah.
PS4 one, which was called
Yeah.
Everybody's Golf in the States.
Okay, I was like, these are everybody's golf because I played one of the PSP ones, I think, when the PSP came out. So yeah, I wasn't sure if they were the same because the soundtrack sounds familiar for sure. But yeah, these again are sort of a little bit sillier. Sort of imagine if like the if like a golf simulator is an F1 game, then these are a Mario Kart game. You know,
Yeah, that sounds about
a
right.
little
They're like,
sillier. It's all about like these goofy characters and
yeah.
just
This is chibi golf. All of
yeah.
these Pac-Man and all of these anime girls are having just the most wonderful summer day.
Yeah, just like a de-emphasize de-emphasis realism and stuff like that is definitely the name of the game with that one. And then there's this True Swing Golf, which I just sort of found randomly while just searching in my folder for golf.
that soundtrack is so good.
It's real good, yeah. And a game I've not played, I wasn't aware of it. Again, it seems to be a bit more realistic than the other games. But the music for that game is by Katsumi Yokokawa, and like looking at her stuff as well. A lot of golf games, somehow, but also like there's credits on like Danganronpa and Zero Escape for some stuff, and yeah, again, like
Maybe all she did was specialize in DS games and
yeah,
other
maybe
portables.
could be, yeah, like it's just like one of those very strange sort of here's a bunch of games in golf. Like the very first game was like Augusta Golf for Windows, then Swing Away Golf, Disney Golf, True Swing Golf, and then like Sheeran the Wanderer and Zero Escape and Fantasy Star Saga Idola. So yeah, a bit of an eclectic mix. But yeah, that soundtrack is a bit of a hidden gem, I would say. One of the few that I had completely not heard of before starting to put together this playlist. And definitely an enjoyable one to find, though. But yeah, I think we'll jump into the next block of tracks anyway. I don't want to belabor the point too much, and I really want to get to these Richard Jacques tracks as well. So from Hot Shots Golf, I have two tracks, both again by Motoi Sakuraba. We have Title 1 and Fuse 1 or FUS 1. A lot of these these are just ripped from the game, so there's no actual titles. And then from True Swing Golf, I have three tracks by Katsumi Yokokawa, BGM 07, Menu 02, and Menu 04.
Okay, so in our vision of Final Fantasy VII Golf, we were talking about. Agree or disagree? Sephiroth has a impossibly long driver that he uses one hand to hit with, and Cloud has just like this big chode putter that he uses that can do it all.
Yeah, he's got a
Confirm, deny.
37 iron.
Yeah, 100%. I was doing a little bit about the amount of Mako needed to fuel Shinra's golf course, and so yeah, leave your Final Fantasy VII golf bits in the comments. I bet a less crazy idea than Final Fantasy VII Battle Royale. I'll say that much.
Yeah, I
The
do.
planet's
I just
dying, Cloud, and all they do is suck the energy out of it and use it to water the golf course.
Exactly.
I just think golf needs to come back as like a video game thing that's beyond just the simulation for sure. Like something I think about a lot is like the Dark Chronicle or Dark Cloud 2, depending on where you are. That has like a golf mini game. Where every stage you can golf in every single stage, and every stage has a power number, and it takes an insane amount of time to do because there's so many stages in that game. But like I feel like people have sort of like people love the fishing mini game in a video game or an RPG, but I think we maybe need to start looking into adding in golf mini games to more games. Just
Sure. Yeah.
yeah, I just think mechanically there's something satisfying about golf that you can't really it's very hard to quantify, but is very there. And I think similar to a good fishing game, a good golfing mini game could probably improve a lot of games.
I think near golf is
That would be
really
incredible.
appealing to me. Yeah, get on that,
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid
Mr.
golf.
Taro.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid golf. You could golf all over the big shell. That would be incredible.
No, that's a good idea.
And have crazy skins game showdowns with whacked out bosses. Like,
Stealth,
you know.
you do stealth golf. It's just like they're patrolling the green, and you have to hit it in such a way that the guards don't notice your golf ball. These are good ideas.
Yeah, I think big video games need to listen to us more.
I'm always
God of
saying
War
that.
golf.
We were sort of commenting again on all the JRPG-ness of some of the music, and yeah, especially the first two from Sakuraba. They really do feel a lot like his sort of RPG battle themes in a lot of ways, the way they're structured. And Sakuraba, I don't know, is it like, does he use particular chords or something like that? But he's got a very distinct sound that you can hear in a lot of different games, which is cool. And yeah, with the True Swing Golf, I was commenting on just the nature of DS games at the time, and like there's a very particular vibe to a lot of the sort of the non-game stuff on the DS, like Brain Age and Brain Training and all that stuff. Like the soundtracks for those were really, really good. But they were just sort of they were in games that most people probably wouldn't pay too much attention to the music in, because they were designed for your gran.
Yeah. It's like how America's Test Kitchen for the DS has this really chill, cool soundtrack that's just like a total vibe. And the Style Savvy games, those also have good soundtracks. Like,
check those out. That sounds really good. Yeah.
I miss my DS. I liked the DS and the 3DS era because you could just take those systems, fold them up, put them in your pocket, carry them around all day. Like, you can't do that with the Switch. And God help you if you try to do that with the PlayStation 5. You need a freaking backpack for that thing.
My goodness.
I'd be impressed.
It doesn't fit
got
in
a
my-
one-man band set up to play Death Stranding 2. It's incredible. The DS. I still find myself moving a bit more towards that than my Switch. Just like Especially because actually, if you didn't know, it's quite easy to hack your DS, and so I got Theater Rhythm on there with
Oh,
all the DLC, and just fucking that's if I had only that game, I could probably manage. That is kind of the only thing I ever want to play. And I'm always kind of like wavering to other things. I've been trying to play the Mercenaries for the DS, which is a little bit awkward, but I still have fun with it. But it's just always back to Theater Rhythm.
mm. Theater Rhythm is really good, and the 3DS version is probably the best way to play it. As much as I do enjoy the Switch version, it's yeah, the 3DS version is the way to play that game.
I should check that out. As much as I love Final Fantasy music, and I've never played a Theater Rhythm game, probably because I hate rhythm games because I have no
Well,
rhythm.
Ah,
yeah,
well, you got to
yeah,
get the second one because the second one has so much more music. It's crazy.
ridiculous.
So it is a bit is I'm not going to call it more robust. You're still doing the same tapping, but I think it's presented in a much more engaging way. So yeah, the
If
Final
nothing else,
Fantasy
track down
Theaterism detour.
yeah. If nothing else, track down that soundtrack because it's got some really good arrangements of some classic RPG stuff or classic Final Fantasy stuff, and some really good like Chrono Trigger and Secret of Mana stuff as well in there. Yeah,
Why
definitely worth
not?
tracking down that
You know,
soundtrack
why
for
not
sure.
just put all the Golden Age Square games in there?
Yeah,
Because they all had such good
They kind of
soundtracks.
do have at least a track from everything you would care to listen to from Square. At least
yeah,
one track from the soundtrack.
yeah. And then separately, there's a Dragon Quest one, but I think that's Japan only. And I'm on record as not particularly liking most Dragon Quest music, even outside of Sugiyama being a piece of shit.
Like, I like the Super Nintendo Dragon Quest soundtracks a lot more than the NES soundtracks. Like, uh, in addition to Sugiyama's personal issues, I don't think he did a good job with the NES sound hardware.
Yeah.
That's definitely fair, yeah.
I certainly true. When I played Dragon Quest 11, you have the option to flip between the orchestral or the more kind of Super Nintendo-y chiptune stuff, and it's so much better in chiptune form.
I can buy that. Dragon Quest seems like a franchise that's very stuck in the past relative to Final Fantasy. Like the Final Fantasy games, like keep going to wacky places and as the series has gone on. Like 16 is an action game, 15 is a driving game. Not really,
Yeah.
but
No, yeah, I mean, but yeah,
Yeah,
really.
it is. Yeah.
I mean, that's what that's what I respect so much about it is that even if I think that 15 is a bit of a whiff. I respect that it's insanely different from the other games in the series.
yeah, I always respect that they're trying something even when I don't think it succeeds.
I will say there is one thing that Final Fantasy has not explored yet, which is disappointing to me. No golf. No golf in a game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely could be something they could look into for sure.
We have one more Final Fantasy remake coming out, so I think that it's all or nothing on that one.
Yeah, maybe they can put it in there.
Golfing in the Northern Crater as a final mini game before you fight Sephiroth.
Exactly.
trying to golf around Tonberries and Iron Giants and all the bosses in that.
Yeah, Sephiroth's ghost showing up beside you being like, Cloud, can you make this putt? If you do, you'll be 2 under par. And
Yeah.
I can't do the impression, but it's that weird seductive yaoi voice acting thing that he's doing in that game.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
The Tonberry would take a really long time to actually get his shot off, but it's a hole-in-one every time.
Yeah. You have to finish the hole before the Tonberry tees off, or he just holds in one and gets you.
There's no playing through in the fucking in the northern crater, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, that's 100% correct.
All right, so Power Star Golf, I guess the reason we're all here. So, Reese, how did you discover this soundtrack? Because even me myself, before I sort of started putting this one together, I hadn't heard about this game until you were like, "Tom, you got to do Power Star Golf, Power Star Golf, Power Star Golf."
Well,
And I was like,
just a massive Richard Jocks fan, and so when we were when we were doing the episode on him, I was just listening. I was going and picking random things out of his Moby game and just tossing them on. And I was just like, Power Star Golf. This is so unassuming. I'll
Yeah.
just check this one out as like the last one I'm gonna check out when I'm doing this research. And I listened to the whole soundtrack like twice through. I was just like, Jesus Christ, this is so good.
Yeah.
So is this like a mobile game? Is that what this is? Because I've never heard of it. I never heard of it
This is like
before.
an Xbox Live game. I believe
Okay.
this is like you when you had your Xbox 360 avatar would play golf, and this is the golf game that they would play.
Oh, okay, it's one of those games.
Yeah, like the 1 versus 100 stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like, yeah, okay. One of those games that's really hard to emulate, and like there's not
exactly.
really oh yeah.
There's not really a demand for it at all.
Yeah, not from what I could tell, not a particularly well-reviewed game either. But the soundtrack absolutely slaps. So, yeah,
Yeah, that's
and I
another subgenre of game music, like
think-
games that are terrible but with amazing soundtracks. Like,
Yeah, no, we've definitely gotten into that in the past as well. It's just like, here's a bad game, but oh boy, is that music good?
yeah, Silver Surfer for the NES.
Yeah, that's a big
10,000.
example.
Yeah, the classic example.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I guess we'll jump into to these tracks from Power Star Golf. We have 4, all composed by Richard Jack. First track is In the Clubhouse, then Frank's theme, Dominique's theme, and Henry's theme. massive shout out to Richard Jacks for those.
Absolutely. I did get this game confused with a game called Avatar Golf for 360, which is,
Oh, okay.
where you're playing with the Xbox avatars. This is
Mm,
a separate one that's just a straight golf release for the Xbox One. So
okay. Fair enough. Yeah,
just
no,
steering in that
I
correction.
was wondering, but yeah, those it's got that like that weird mid 2010s character design that started cropping up. This sort of like I don't know how to describe it. Like you can see it in the picture there, but just that weird like angular faces and very harsh shadows and like very like the lighting on them is really weird. And it's sort of like a way to be a bit more low poly, I guess, and sort of get away with being a bit more stylized. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a weird look to a lot of games that I don't like. Sort of it evolved into the Overwatch style, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but
It's like a
like
lower budget game kind of a thing. Like, they
yeah,
didn't have
absolutely.
the money to go like crazy with the polygons and be nuts, so they just made these cheap renderers.
Yeah. So
I would
there's
not
another
be
game.
surprised if these were, art packs that you could buy and then you customize them just a bit.
That would make perfect sense.
Possible, yeah, that they were just like, yeah. Um,
They
there's
spent
that.
all their money for the whole budget for Power Star Golf was Richard Jacks doing the soundtrack.
Which is the correct decision.
Or
Like,
Yeah,
Derek
yeah,
Mayhew.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just like a lot of really good sort of like funk and jazzy sounds to it, and I love a good clavinet. Like, yeah, it's such a nice sound. I love the sound of that, or any sort of like electric piano sort of sound is always something that I enjoy. If you're a Persona 5 enjoyer, you will also enjoy this, I think.
I am, and I did.
Yeah, it's got that sort of a vibe to it. But yeah, thanks again, Tom, for joining us to talk about golf. I think we'll finish up the episode. So if you want to plug anything, including your recent episodes on golf or anything else, now's your time.
I absolutely do want to plug things. Yeah, you can find me on lots of social media sites as Shujin Academy or Shujin Academy VGM Club. Shujin is how you spell Shujin if you're not fluent in Japanese. I'm on Blue Sky mostly as Shujin Academy VGM Club. I did just do an episode of my podcast, Shujin Academy VGM Club, and it was all about golf. It was my third golf games episode, and it was so cool. And I like golf games. And Tom and Reese, thank you so much for having me on this show. I love
Yeah,
hanging
we
out
love
with
having
y'all.
you on. Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
it's always a pleasure. And yeah, absolutely. Check out Shujin Academy. Just uh, similar to us, just good vibes, straight bangers. So
Hmm.
yeah, you'll love it if you love us, which you do.
Yeah. Definitely worth checking out. And like, if you liked the golf soundtracks, yeah, there's plenty of those on over on Shujin Academy VGM Club. So Reese, what have you got going on at the moment?
Uh, the usual shit. Check out video games are the worst thing on earth. Check out Existential Warfare. Uh, check out I don't know. Check out CRT Sound System. That's a pretty good one.
That is a good. That's a quality podcast.
Quality podcast, yeah.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose if you do want to check out CRT Sound System, you can go follow us on Blue Sky. Not super active there, but I post all the episodes there. You can go follow us on Patreon, CRT Sound System on there if you want to get some extra bonus episodes and some high quality, higher bitrate audio on the downloads. Hopefully soon they're going to start opening public feeds on Patreon, so I might just be able to move everything over to Patreon and just have that host the whole thing, which would be very nice indeed. If you want to come hang out in the Discord, absolutely come and join us. If you want to talk about any particular games or a game subject, if you're like, I wish they talked about more pinball games. If you want to do a pinball game episode, come and fucking talk to me about it. I will absolutely put together a playlist of fucking pinball games for sure. So yeah, yeah. Thanks, Tom. Again, thanks for Reese. I think we'll finish out with the last track here, which is Kira's theme from Power Star Golf. I don't think there's anything else to be said. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, I guess.
Yeah,
We'll get kicked
absolutely.
off Blue Sky for that one.
I'm going to get banned on Blue Sky, yeah, sadly.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Well, follow us on Blue Sky before we're
yeah,
banned.
rest in peace, and welcome to the Resistance, Ken Penders, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Ken Penders. Thank you. This episode is dedicated to him. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.